Today I'm going to make a leaf pattern using these leaves to essentially fill a rectangle shape like this one. To do that, I need my swatches panel open. I've got two different layers here, a layer that, and I might not have done this, a layer that I drew my leaves on, one that I'm making patterns on, one layer is locked, one layer is not visible, doesn't really matter. Okay, so to make this work we're going to be using swatches panel. I already have a swatch that I made called Autumn Leaves. I'm just going to make a newer one, a simpler one, out of these leaves here. To do that I need to be in my select tool. I'm going to click and drag to select all of those, and then I'm going to go to Object, Pattern, and Make. Okay, so if I click OK, it puts me into isolation mode, but I click OK and I'm going to wind up in this pattern thing. Here's where the fun happens. Everything that I see outside of this blue box indicates how the repeat is going to work. If I'm not happy with the position of anything, I can always select it and move it. I can also duplicate things. Option click and drag to do that is the easiest way. Rotate them. I can resize them. I'm holding down shift while I do this to constrain proportions. I can also change the opacity of them if I want to, I don't know, overlap some things. Hey, let's do arrange, bring to front, so that overlaps my whatever the heck leaf that is, oak leaf. I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm just going to option click and drag it, put it over here, spin it that way, or I could, flip it too. So reflect, yeah, good. Rotate, shrink it down a little, and again I could lower the opacity of that as well. Arrange, bring to front. I mean, this is really, the possibilities are endless. How complicated do I want to make it? Okay, and so on until it looks like a bunch of falling leaves. Again, I can move these around. Maybe I want to make this one bigger. Move that around. I can duplicate anything that I've already made. Until I nicely fill the space. Yeah, I know, I just squashed that. I didn't hold down shift when I did it, so I didn't constrain proportions. I'm gonna control click again and bring to front, reduce the opacity. I just want to make it look like they're layered one over the other. Okay, so if I'm happy with that, I don't know, swatch looks pretty good over here, looks okay to me, looks pretty seamless mostly. I can always go back in and tweak it later. I don't know, maybe I want to reduce the opacity of these things as well. Not that one. This, 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 and this. I think they're all selected. That's still at 100%. Let's knock it down to 85. Okay, whatever. If I'm happy with it, I am happy with it. Like I said, I can always go back in and change it later. So I'm going to name it because new pattern is, well, it is a new pattern, but that's not a good name for that. So I'm going to call it falling leaves, hit return, and that is now in my swatches panel. So if I hit the little back arrow here to get myself out of the pattern editing mode and select the rectangle that I'd already made, I'm going to make sure that I've got the fill chip highlighted in the foreground here so I don't accidentally put this pattern into the stroke. And I'm going to select my new falling leaf pattern, and the rectangle will now be filled with the new pattern that I have created. Leaf wallpaper.